5.2 Rates and Unit Rates. In this section, we're going to find unit rates, but before we do that, we need to figure out what is a rate. A rate is a ratio of two quantities using different units. So for instance, you pay $350 for every 1/4 ounce of gold. So the first unit is dollars, the second unit in this case is ounce. Okay, so that's a rate, a ratio of two quantities using different units. Now, a unit rate compares a quantity of one unit to another. So if you were to do some running or some exercise and your heart rate goes up, right? And to find the heart rate, you count how many heartbeats you have in 1 minute. So heartbeats per minute. Or if you are driving, sometimes you want to know how many miles per 1 hour you are traveling. Or if you need to buy gas for your car, you would say you pay $4.50 for every gallon of gas, right? $4.50 for every 1 gallon of gas. Okay, so a unit rate would be something like some number to 1, right? 60 heartbeats per 1 minute, 35 miles per 1 hour, $4.50 per 1 gallon. Okay, that's a unit rate. Okay, so here's an example. We have a nutrition label on a can of tuna, and it says that every 1/4 cup of tuna has 1/2 grams of fat. Okay, this is a rate because we have cups and grams. We have two different units. All right. Now, the question that they're asking us, though, is how many grams of fat are there for every 1 cup of tuna? Okay, so grams of fat to 1 cup of tuna. And so we need to find this. Okay. All right. But before we do that, we have to first find out what is the rate of fat to tuna. Here's our fat, 1/2 to, here's our tuna, 1/4. All right. So that is our rate, 1/2 to 1/4. Okay. And then the second thing we need to do is quickly write that down before I forget. 1/2 to 1/4. Okay. That was our rate. All right. So our rate can be written as a fraction like this, A over B. Here's our A, here's our B. So it can be written as 1/2 over 1/4, right? Okay, now our goal is to find how many grams of fat we have per 1 cup of tuna. Remember I said unit rate is number to 1. That's our unit rate. Okay, so we have two different methods. All right. The first method is you could divide the top number. Okay, so here's our rate. So we can divide our top number by the bottom number. So we could say, so divide the top, 1/2, divided by 1/4. That's the same as 1/2 times 4, which is the same as 2. Okay, so there are 2 grams of fat for 1 cup of tuna. Let's try a different method though. And that would be, we have 1/2 on top and 1/4 on bottom, because remember, our rates can be written as the first number over the second number, right? That's basically the value of our ratio. Okay. Remember in last section, 5.1, we were talking about values of ratios and we put the first number over the second number. Well, that's basically what we're doing here as well. So First number, A, over the second number, B, right here. So we could then, if we divided the bottom by 1/4, and we divide the top by 1/4, what's 1/4 divided by 1/4? 1. And what's 1/2 divided by 1/4? 1/2 divided by 1/4 is the same as 1/2 times 4/1, which is the same as 2. So we put the 2 up there. Remember, 2/1 is the same thing as just plain old 2. So both methods came up with the answer that we have 2 grams of fat for 1 cup of tuna. Okay, unit rate, second number is a 1. First number we have to figure out. Okay. All right, so now it is time for you to write in your notes. And that is just the top half of the one page you have for 5.2. Okay, now we're going to use a unit rate to solve a rate problem. Okay, here's our problem. We have the scientist who estimates that a jet of liquid iron in the Earth's core travels 9 feet every 1/2 hour. Now we want to know, how far does the liquid iron travel in 1 day? Okay, so the first step we need to do, underline the important information. Let's see here. The scientist estimates that a jet of liquid iron in the Earth's core travels 9 feet every 1/2 hour. And the question is, how far does it travel in 1 day? Okay, so those are all the important information. Now we need to find our rate. Okay, our rate is going to be a ratio of distance to time. Okay, so distance, 9 feet, time, 1/2 hour. Okay, so we're finding the rate, which is actually a ratio using different units, right? First unit is feet, second unit is hour. So we know we have a rate, 9 to 1/2. Okay, so we found our rate. Now we need to find our unit rate. How do we find our unit rate? Remember, a rate is A over B, which is actually the value of the ratio, right? But we can then divide the top and bottom both by B, or we can just do A divided by B. So let's do that. So our A here is 9 divided by 1/2. B, our B is 1/2. Okay, so to find the unit rate, the top one divided by the bottom one. So, which is what, interestingly enough, that's the same thing as the value of the ratio, isn't it? All right, let's go back to this and do 9 divided by 1/2. It's the same as 9 times 2/1, which is the same as 18. Right? So we travel 18 feet in 1 hour. All right. So if we travel 18, our unit rate is 18 feet for 1 hour. Remember, unit rate is number to 1, some number to 1, 18 to 1. But our question was what? How far does it travel in 1 day? Okay, so how many hours in 1 day? 24. All right, so then to find this, using our ratio table. 1 times what gives you 24? Well, 1 times 24 gives you 24. So now our solution then will then be 18 times 24. Give us this number here. 18 times 24. Aha, here we go again, practicing our double digit multiplication. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Put down the 0. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus the 1 is 3. I'm going to add this. 2, 13, 432. 432. So the liquid iron in one day, which is the same as 24 hours, can travel 432 feet. All right, now time to do just 2 practice problems. All right, practice problem number 1. Find the unit rate. Remember, with unit rates, it's a number to 1. Well, we already have the 1 here. And this is a ratio table, right? So how do we get from 12 to 1? 12 divided by 12. 12 divided by 12 gives us 1, doesn't it? So if we do that there, what must we do at the top? We also must divide by 12. So 1.32 divided by 12 gives us 0.11. Okay, that's practice problem number 1. But now let's move on to look at practice problem number 2. All right, I showed you how to do the first one. So now you should be able to do the second one. You travel 6 miles in 1/2 hour. How far do you travel in 1 hour? Because remember, unit rate is number 1 per 1, right? Number to 1. So miles. How many miles in 1 hour? Okay. Think about how you move from 1/2 to 1. What do you do? Then you got to do that same thing up here, and you get your value, right? 1/2 divided by 1/2 gives you 1, doesn't it? So you probably want to do the same thing up here. And that will give you this value there, right? Now the other way I showed you to do it too was what? To find the value of the ratio, or to divide the top number. Top number, top divided by bottom. So the top number is 6 divided by 1/2. That should also get you that number there. Look, it's the same thing. 6 divided by 1/2, 6 divided by 1/2. All right, that's the end of 5.2.